Hello everyone, Danny Hogger here, back to close out week 3 of my Masters of Arts in Teaching program from San Diego Christian College. This vlog is sponsored by San Diego Christian College and you can find out more at sdcc.edu. Well, this week I'm going to explore some of the dynamics of responding to your classmates and colleagues in the online portal. One of the freedoms and great benefits of this particular program is that my professor, Dr. Lori Ague, who's also the Dean of the Education Department and the online programs, who I interviewed in week 5, has set up the class in a way that students can work at their own pace as long as they come back and participate in the interactions and discussions with their colleagues. This is a really wonderful thing for those who are teaching, working, or have a family like I do. It gives you the freedom to explore at your own pace, to work ahead when necessary, and avoid getting bogged down by the pressures of work and everything that happens in life when you can work ahead. Then you come back and discuss, and one of the things that I really enjoyed is that even in week 3, I've already found some of my colleagues who are doing the same thing. Courtney Weldon is one example, and she's graciously given us permission to look at some of her comments and discuss our interactions. What's really neat is you kind of find out in the classroom who's driven and who's working quickly and who loves spending time carefully curating their thoughts and responding to every comment, and everyone's characteristics and personal profiles start to take form. And Courtney is one of these go-getters, kind of like I consider myself, who's working ahead and then coming back and experiencing, and I start seeing her name popping up more and more. Courtney, Courtney, Courtney. I'm like, okay, I think Courtney and I are going to have a little running dialogue here. And that's fun. In the course of a physical classroom, sometimes two people who always want to share their thoughts can bog down others in the class and make them feel like they don't want to participate, or they dominate the teacher's attention, or they make it so other people feel like maybe their answers aren't as succinct or they're not prepared to answer on the spot. What's great about an online classroom is everyone's welcome to work at their own pace and rate and feel comfortable with the way that they share, and when you're typing a response, you're really thinking through things in a more clear and detailed way. So here's a thought from Courtney that I'm going to share with you now. We'll go ahead and put that up on the screen. Courtney's post is about an electrician named Tim and an ethical dilemma that he faces regarding graduation requirements. So in this case, the student has not met expectations, and there's an ethical discussion about how a teacher and the administration should approach the student to resolve the issue. While the specific details of the case are interesting, what's most important in my focus here is how students interact with the material. You can go look at the book itself if you'd like to find it. There's a number of great case studies for pursuing your thoughts about how you would approach ethical dilemmas in the classroom. Here's what Courtney suggests. I would have a personal discussion with Tim regarding graduation requirements and create a signed intent to graduate contract to help guide Tim towards progression in his graduate studies. If he agrees to try harder and pass his classes, I would recommend Tim for the job because Tim would have additional training and instruction during the apprenticeship. And during that time, Tim could provide the ability to work harder. Just because an individual doesn't succeed in an academic setting doesn't mean that they won't excel in a different capacity. Blue-collar or trade jobs require many different skills than high school English classes. I believe that the records of students should be made available to potential employers, colleges, etc. And she goes on to explain what she thinks is most important. What's great is that when you have a really complex ethical situation, like a student who's violated expectations and may not be ready to graduate, you're going to have lots of different people's thoughts about how to remedy the situation. And you're going to have a variety of comments, and we do in our classroom. There's a lot of people with a lot of different ideas. And that's great. It's a wonderful thing to be exposed rather than just be, some people think of an online program as being just independent study. Not the case. This is a very collaborative program and everyone's opinions are valued and openly presented. That gives you a well-rounded variety of ways to think about things, and it also is helpful for determining maybe a different approach that you hadn't thought of initially, and that's a wonderful thing as well, when you can add a well-rounded perspective to the things that you're saying and to the things that you think. So I responded to Courtney and said that I agree and I also have some other ideas, and she responded back a couple of times too. And in my thought, I kind of appreciated the sense of moving forward with the contract and expectations. I also kind of appreciated that Courtney was finding multiple courses for different students, that she doesn't think everyone has to be tunneled down the same road. But my approach was more personal and to a certain extent less punitive. And one of the themes of disagreement that we'll find over and over in the course is the view of a consequentialist or a non-consequentialist. A non-consequentialist is a theory according to which the rightness or wrongness of an act, system of rules, depends at least in part or something other than the goodness or badness of the consequences, where a consequentialist says the consequences really matter, and that's how you determine whether an action is good or bad in itself. So I thought about that. I thought about what Courtney had said, that there's a lot of careers that are going to depend on your actions and your foundations and your morals. And I always kind of like to take that with some of the philosophies of Donovan Graham and the Making a Difference textbook that we're using in this course as well, which is, well, what are you investing in this student to see that their results are different? So I've taken a very personal accepting view of a lot of the reading so far through 3 weeks of the program. And so I've been meeting with students that maybe are not where they want to be academically, pulling them aside and asking them, what could we do to engage you more in this material? If you don't find this particular, as a history teacher, aspect of history engaging, what does interest you? And I created a project-based learning environment where we'll go through the traditional lecture and then let me help you guide you towards information that if you're not seeing what I am presenting to you in the classroom, what is it that interests you and how can we find out how we can meet the standards and you pursue the learning in those particular directions. So if I have an artist in the classroom, we'll create a poster, a billboard, a painting, and explore 3 different sources of research and put that into your art. And that's a great way to show assessment of your learning and understanding and let you learn the things that you're most interested in. Now, as it applies to this case study, then I would want to have a meeting with Tim, and maybe if his parents or his counselor were there too, that would be great. So Tim, what is it that you want to do? What are your goals and how can I help you meet them? When students are falling short, why are they not falling short? Let's look further into the situation. This program's helping you think about, are acts really random when there's a behavior issue, or is there something deeper behind it? We can't always be the whole solution to that, but at school, sometimes we're the only person in their day that would ask the question and would try to find the solution. And if we're open to that possibility, we're open to a lot of improvements that can be made. So just 3 weeks into the program, the Masters of Arts in Teaching program at San Diego Christian College, and I'm thinking deeper about where are they coming from, where is the student behavior originating from, can I assist in a way in my classroom that empowers them, enriches them, and engages them. And for that, that's a lot to think about for this week. I'm Danny Hogger, and you can follow me through the journey of my vlogging experience in my master's program, and I hope you will. And until the next time we meet, I hope you are doing great. And if you have any questions, write them in the comments down below, or maybe you have some comments about how you handle ethical dilemmas in your classroom. And for more information on this program that I'm engaged in, go to sdcc.edu and search for the Masters of Arts in Teaching. That's all online. That's it for now. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Danny Hogger, and I'll see you next time.